What's up, everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Witcher 2, and it is finally time. We are headed back to fight that stinking dragon. First time around, things didn't go so well. We definitely were seemingly a little bit underpowered. Yeah, maybe with perfect execution we might have been able to pull it off, but it seemed like it was going to be quite a stretch. We maybe picked a pretty bad time to cut some corners in terms of skipping through some side quests and some gear upgrades. So there's one more thing that I think we ought to do first, and that is that we ought to look at using some of these mutagens, which we've been holding on to and stockpiling for quite a while, but have not yet used any of. So I think that this is the last major thing that we can do to make ourselves stronger in preparation for that fight. And if I remember correctly, the way in which we do that is if we go anywhere on the skill tree, we can mutate. Ooh, okay, not anywhere. Okay, I take that back. Only on these 3 nodes here at the end of the tree where you see it has the sort of gray circle there. It seems as though those are basically like little slots in which we can throw one of those mutagens. So let's just verify how many of those we have exactly. Ooh, some over here as well. Okay, so that's good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I don't think we've made it toward any of those down here. Doesn't look like it, and I likewise doubt we've made it far enough on the left-hand side on the sign end of the tree. So, okay. Let's bear in mind that at the moment, and likely for the foreseeable future, we will only be able to use 5 of these, and therefore we might need to be a little bit picky in terms of which mutagens we opt to use here, but let's take a look at what we have. So we have a power mutagen for damage. I guess maybe preemptively let's think a little bit about what makes the most sense for us to add. I would think probably damage and life. I think we've done, or vitality I should say. I think we've done several things to improve our life in anticipation of this fight with the dragon, so I think we're certainly in at least slightly better shape than we were before. The problem with that is that, you know, if the dragon one-shots you, the dragon one-shots you. It doesn't matter if you have 1 life or 1,000 life. The result's going to be the same. So life may not be the best answer, and it may be that damage actually is, because the quicker you can take down the dragon, the less time in which you have to dodge those hits, and therefore the less likely you are to get one shot or anything like that. So I think we will probably not do sign damage. We could potentially do armor. It's kind of along a similar vein as the vitality upgrades. Although this would be a little bit of both, so that might actually be a good option. Vitality mutagen. They do come in various rarities as well. You'll see several of these are epic, and so we might want to be mindful of making sure that we're using strong versions. Like, a greater vitality is probably better than a normal vitality mutagen. 5 vitality versus, where was it? 10 vitality. Okay. Then, assuming for similar reasons, these lesser vitality or these lesser mutagens overall are probably not a good idea. Greater strength mutagen, armor, and vitality regeneration. Now, does that include during combat? Because we've had some issues with trying to regenerate vitality during combat. Seems like we're fine outside of combat, but that doesn't really make so much of a difference. It's more so if you can actually heal during a fight, then that is very helpful. But I think, from what I'm seeing here, I think I'm seeing... Well, we have a lot of these power mutagens. We have 6 of them? I wish there was a way to trade these up so you could get, like, I don't know, 3 of the normal rarities for one of the greater rarities and make it better, because apparently we could kind of use that right now. But, unfortunately, I don't believe that that is possible. I think I like the Madness mutagen because it has a little bit of everything. It seems like it has yes, 5 vitality is not a ton, and it seems like if we were to go purely into vitality, we might be able to make it all the way up to 10. But if you add the armor on top of that, I feel like this could very well be a strong option defensively, so we might want to opt for the offensive stuff after this. But I think this one I'm certainly okay with. Okay, cool. So that's that. See, like, it's basically, it was combining a normal strength mutagen along with a normal vitality mutagen. So collectively, I think that did add up to something that could be really helpful. If we were to go all in on vitality, we actually have... wow. We have 2 of the greater vitality mutagens, so that might be a good way to go. Now, let's make sure we swap to a new skill, or a new talent, I should say, on the tree, because I'm assuming that if we continue hovering over this one, then we're going to just overwrite it. So let's go to one of these ones that's blank. You can see the one that we were just using now has a green dot, where previously there was just a gray circle. Let's try this one. And yeah, so the question here is, do we go more into vitality? And, you know, with 2 more of these, that's, and in addition to the one that we just allocated, that's a total of 25 vitality. Maybe that's enough to start to get somewhat significant. Obviously, you know, hard to turn your head at just 5 total vitality. That doesn't sound like it's going to make much of a difference. So, I feel like I do kind of want to go with the power mutagens. Like I was saying before, I think that, at least for this specific fight, this might be the most impactful. So I think I want to go this route. Even though it's technically just a normal mutagen and not a greater mutagen, I think this is the way to go. So let's do this. Still have plenty more where that came from. So I think we probably go all in from there. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I accidentally allocated this skill point rather than mutate it. We did have an extra skill point. What does it give us? Because I feel like that was potentially very bad, and I really wish there was an undo button, because I was thinking that, you know, maybe a whirlwind ability that is meant to target multiple enemies is not the most useful thing when we're fighting specifically one very powerful enemy. So, mistakes were made. Yeah. But anyways, moving on here. We'll do this mutagen. I mean, theoretically, we could just reload the previous save, because we've done pretty much just this thus far, and most of what we've been doing here is just logicking through what types of mutagens we want to use. Once we've done that, well, now apparently we're a mutant. Although we were a mutant all along. But now that we've established which mutagens we want to use, theoretically, we could go back and just make this happen real quickly. Do I want to do that? I think I actually want to do that. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're back. And like I was saying before, I think that it probably makes sense to actually use that skill point in a way that might benefit us for this upcoming fight, because the whole idea here is that we want to make sure that we are doing things that benefit us for this fight. So I'm going to be very conscious of pressing the mutate button rather than pressing the allocate the skill button, because I did want to potentially experiment a little bit with what might be the best option for that remaining skill point, because what I was thinking was getting the ability to dodge for additional distance might be very helpful, because I'm remembering how it seemed like whenever we were attacking the dragon, we were only very narrowly able to dodge out of the way in time to avoid getting hit. That is, when we're going up close and personal for sword damage. And I would imagine that getting some additional dodge distance could make that more feasible, or just make it more likely that we do that successfully, because there were definitely times when we tried doing that and we still got hit, even though we seemingly dodged at what appeared to be a more or less the correct time. Okay, so I want to make sure that I don't forget to also throw in the Madness mutagen here. Oh, it does also have bonus damage to Science, which I just completely disregarded before, but yes, long term, for other potential purposes, That would also be useful. It's just that we aren't really, or at least don't anticipate that we will use very many signs in this upcoming fight. No, don't do that. That is precisely the thing that I did not want to do. Okay. Fortunately, I realized that it did have a confirmation option there. That's actually what we wanted to do. Okay, so we should have how much more damage? I think we have... Does it say here? It doesn't. Okay. It doesn't tell us the bonuses we're getting from the mutagens here, but I remember that we have all but one mutagen is the damage one. So that means, what, 4 total? I think there were 1 to 2 damage apiece. So what, we're looking at 4 to 8 additional damage, which doesn't sound like much. But bear in mind, that relative at least to the weapon that we were using against the dragon last time, that is a 10 to 20% damage boost, because the weapon we were using against the dragon previously had about 40 base damage. So that's a lot, I would think. Doesn't sound like a lot, but I think it is. So let's save here, just so that we, don't do that again. Hello? Well, we technically already talked to you? Okay, so we have done these things before. Still showing up, though. As green. I don't know. Okay, let's just walk on over to these guys and say hello.
The Kingslayer!
Yep.
Get it!
On the assumption, these guys do, in fact, want to speak to us. And by speak to us, I mean attempt to fight us. So we've upgraded both our steel weapon and our silver weapon.
Might have tried to reason with them.
Now.
This way. Trust me.
Path's clear. Can we go?
Let's just take 1 second to loot here.
All right, but don't take too long.
Yeah, superb. For a second I thought that said superb short longsword. I was like, that is an oxymoron, if ever I heard one. Sure, we'll take that while we're at it. So the primary things that we've changed is we've upgraded both our steel and our silver weapon. Silver is obviously going to be a lot more relevant here for this upcoming fight. We've thrown on 3 runes, 3 damage runes that we did not use before. Oh, I guess... Yeah, so our silver sword had like 40 to 44 maybe flat damage. We have a higher base damage weapon in addition to using those runes to further increase our damage. So we're looking at, again, like... I don't know. Now the mental math is failing me, but like 15% maybe-ish more flat damage from just the weapon upgrade alone. That doesn't include the... No, I think it's more than that. Not to mention the 25% increased damage to large monsters. That'll be helpful. The mutagens that we just put on, that'll be helpful. I think we have an extra level, or possibly even 2, that we did not have when we were fighting the dragon last time. I think we invested more in the defensive side of things, though, so that should make a difference, just along a different category. And then we did also upgrade our boots, gauntlets, and trousers. I think mostly this was with additional reduction of damage from magic, which may or may not do anything against the dragon, but we'll see. And then we will, of course, once we actually get over to the dragon, do things like throw on potions, mostly for either vitality or vigor. Now I'm going back and forth between Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 terms, but the sign tooths. Regeneration stuff for those things. And in addition to probably throwing on a whetstone, which I don't think we did last time round, but that, if that truly gives us 20% increased damage, then we're looking at pretty humongous damage boost relative to the first time when we fought this dragon, or first round of times when we fought this dragon. So all those things considered, I'm hopeful's maybe a little strong, cautiously optimistic that this one will go better. I did also pick up various throwing weapons, which I am going to need to make a mental note to try to remember to resort to those. If that is something that seems worthwhile, it would theoretically allow us to deal damage from a distance and not have to be right up next to the dragon, which could be relevant because, like we were saying before, the dragon seemed to be hitting us even when we were trying to dash away. So I think we're good now.
Can we go now?
Let's do it.
No time to lose.
Everything will be revealed at last.
So, we have seen this stuff, of course.
Whether you like it or not, John
So,
Natalis,
I'm kind of on the
Temeria
fence as to
will
whether we
be
want to skip through it.
divided.
The good of the entire North.
But it is
The united
significant,
forces of
obviously.
Kedwin and Redania will end the fighting among the elder houses and secure peace from Gorsvelen to Elendor.
At present, Temeria is starting to resemble the Pontar Valley.
See if
Which,
we
if I understand
can pick up
correctly, is
anything that we did not pick up
controlled
before.
by Edirn.
You are mistaken, Radovid. Vergen is free.
Free. What precisely does that mean?
Lawmark is not Kedwen's, and Edirn no longer controls Upper Edirn. We have rejected Prince Stennis.
Yeah, so one thing
King Stennis.
along those
And
lines
handed King
is,
Consort's army a resounding defeat.
we know that Saskia is, of
Our
course, going
forces, my
to
dear
make a little
lass,
bit of a
are nothing but a
transformation
motley
here.
array of
But somehow
rebellious
she goes from
peasants and
being
elven
one of the
brigands.
chief
Sooner or
people
later, they
in
will
these
need to swear
discussions to
allegiance to
just
someone,
disappearing,
or
nobody
they will
takes
be
notice, and then,
defeated
oh yeah,
and
by the way,
dispersed.
there's a dragon now.
The peoples of
How
the
does nobody
Pontar
notice
Valley
that?
will swear allegiance to me, Queen Saskia. As an independent realm, we hereby speak in favor of reconstituting the Council and Conclave.
You're a lovely girl, but you issue from common stock. The sole crown you are worthy of donning is a wreath woven of wildflowers. Redania will recognize no other coronation.
In that case, you must choose, King Radovid. Will you carve up Temeria, or march on the Pontar Valley? Henselt, last of the line of the unicorns, has sworn to recognize the Pontar Valley as a free realm. Philippa Eilhart witnessed it.
Philippa Eilhart is in my dungeon, awaiting trial for treason.
She was in your dungeon, Radovid, but is no longer. She will sit at my side in Bergen as my royal advisor.
Yeah, and she's not very happy right now, based on what she's about to have Saskia do. So, you know, maybe try to be a little bit nicer, otherwise you are going to become roast beef.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island.
And we
The
did
more
see
important
that
question
Sheila,
relates to the
in the
content of the
memory
tower
that we
to
saw
designate
using the
where it
megascope, or I guess it's technically
Today,
a memory,
randomly
I'm not
chosen
sure,
mages
but
and
that
sorceresses
Sheila seemed to be a
reside in
little
many
more
quarters.
directly involved with the
However, in
whole
time of the
Saskia
previous
ordeal
conflict,
than
such persons
Philippa
were
or
chosen.
Sheila lended us to believe.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The
And,
Conclave
you know,
needs to be certain they are...
Lodge of Sorceresses wants to pick who goes there,
And
so,
that they will keep the Conclave's
yeah.
interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the Northern Kingdoms.
nah, because Nilfgaard is not a
The
northern
document
kingdom.
has
It doesn't
been
seem.
signed
They
by
are
every
technically
member
to
of
the south, I
Conclave
think.
we have proposed,
But
as well as by all but one of the designated
they
advisors.
appear
We await only
to be the ones that are
signature.
potentially behind a lot of
Without
this
our royal
king slaying.
seals, you should be allowed to designate advisors to cowherd at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
Sheila de Tanserville should never be allowed to sign this document.
Triss Merigold, you decided to join us after all.
De Tanserville
Yeah, let's
has
just not
royal
acknowledge the
blood on
fact
her
that
hands.
one of the members
She
of this
can't
group
sit
here
on
tried
the
to lock us up.
That is a lie.
Have you
One of the
anything to support
states
these
here,
claims,
dude.
Marigold?
There are witnesses who will confirm that Sheila de Tanserville was behind the assassinations of
I'm not going to tell you who the
and
witnesses
Fulton.
are, but I'm going to tell you that there are
Officials of the
witnesses,
future
and so you're
Council
totally
and
just going to
Conclave.
take my word for it and
Sheila
arrest
de
Sheila
Tanserville
here.
should be arrested and tried. If Triss Merigold
And suddenly
speaks the
people
truth,
believe us.
Lady de Tanserville will be condemned to death.
And like I was saying, Saskia has mysteriously disappeared here. Order of the Flaming Rose has decided to make an appearance.
Sheila de Tanserville, until Triss Merigold's charges are dismissed or refuted, you cannot sit on the Conclave.
Arrest her.
But, yeah, you know, as we know, stuff's about to go down.
You don't know the whole truth. Marigold doesn't know what she's talking about.
And now she's telling Saskia to do her thing. So that was definitely Sheila directing Saskia there. you know, we kind of, there was this little subtle reverberation sound. I'm not sure if you guys caught it, but as soon as Sheila kind of raised her hands up like that, it made that sound, and Saskia showed up immediately thereafter. So that suggested that Sheila may actually be the one that is controlling Saskia right now, and maybe not Philippa? Or, you know, they're just a very close partnership, and collectively they're doing that stuff. Even though Philippa was definitely the one to give Saskia the potion and supposedly remove all the poisony stuff.
Geralt, we're trapped. Magic's no good here.
Magic's no good here because plot.
Sheila, you have to get Sheila.
Yeah, you know, one thing I was thinking of was, I guess we actually want the silver weapon in anticipation of what we're about to find here. Let's save one more time. But, you know, one thing that came to mind was Triss. So much for you being a, a good decision to free. Sure, we had you say, there are witnesses. I accuse Sheila of slaying the kings, but, then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, the primary thing that I could do here, use magic, is, no good. So, not so great. Now, we will, of course, see some of this stuff start to happen. And we'll make our way out, and it's gonna happen again, except this time behind us. Which I forgot. I was remembering this one. Not the one that was gonna show up behind us, though. So let's just keep on moving here, ignoring the fact that we are currently incinerated.
You're late. I've already managed to stabilize the portal.
Have you now, though?
Nowhere to run. Sooner or later, some people find
Sure you didn't double-check your
I
work?
prefer to leave on my own terms.
Where's Letho?
Sir Semplices will tend to him.
So that's Saskia. Her full dragon name, if you will, it seems.
Burning a sorceress at the stake.
Where is he?
I don't know, fool. I've been looking for him since Foltest's assassination. Letho
Yeah,
cheated
which
all
would
of us.
suggest that
We were deceived
you were
by his
involved in
dull face
Foltest's
and
assassination,
sluggish
despite what
stare.
you're about to tell us.
Don't you understand? The Lodge sought a way to get rid of Demavend. That's true. He was a weak, volatile king. Edirn would eventually choke to death under his rule. We chose the lesser evil. He had to be eliminated, and Letho happened to be at hand.
Foltest? Henselt?
We had nothing to do with that.
I
After
don't
assassinating
believe
Demavend,
that.
Letho used our gold and magical support to find and meet Yorveth. The elf was to help him hide until the matter blew over, or so I thought.
Yeah, so you're
The
suggesting that
Lodge did not
Yorveth was the
condemn
one who told him
Foltest
to
to
kill
die.
Foltest, which is definitely not true.
Nilfgaard.
I don't think. Yeah,
Letho
oh well,
was the king of liars and
you
emperor
said
of
Nilfgaard,
traitors.
but
From the start, he
I
worked
don't
for
know.
the glory of the great sun and the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. He lied to everyone. Me, Yorveth, your stupid little Triss.
'cause that would suggest
And
that
you.
Cynthia, if anyone, was really
Got any evidence?
behind a lot of
A
that,
moment
because
ago, I
she's the
received a
most
message
notable
from a
person that we've
agent in Sintry.
met who's a sorceress
The
from
Imperial
Nilfgaard.
army is on the move. They're fording the Yaruga now. Do you think the North can defend itself in the current situation? And can you count on another miracle at Brenna?
I don't know, but you made it all possible and you'll answer for that. The stigma of treason is yours for all time.
We shall see. For no one will leave this city alive. No one will tell this story. Philippa controls the dragon. As soon as I disappear, it will turn the city into a flaming tomb. We may have lost a battle, but the war is just beginning. You, however, shall not take part in it. This is your end, Witcher.
We'll see about that. Yeah, so we do of course know that this is gonna happen. I am gonna keep Sheila alive.
This one's flawed. I'll be torn to bits. Geralt, remove it.
You waited long enough.
Yeah, because I think that
Should you survive, go south
I would like
to Nilfgaard,
Wait, hold on.
where you'll find Yennefer of Vengerberg.
Yeah, about that.
Farewell, Witcher.
It would be very nice to see what the deal is with this Yennefer person, who we've heard so much about. We know what's going to happen here. But I think it's important that we keep Sheila alive for just a little bit longer to see... Do I have the wrong sort of... Oh, don't I? We want this. Actually... Yeah, and saw that one coming. That's, yep, do some of this. Well, I'm about to do some of that. And probably should have taken the hint that we can only hit you once before you will get quick enough to hit us back. So, remind ourselves of the mechanics here. There we go. We are up to the next phase. This is the simple part. It's this next part that gets tough. So I couldn't really tell how much additional damage we were or were not dealing. I do see that the game seems to have autosaved there. So I think that's generous. It does mean that I think this is the last time in which we can do things like activate our potions. So let's do that now. Or actually, I think might be better to do the whetstone first if we're getting really technical, because I think the whetstone has a longer duration. Might. I hope it does. So we apply it to the silver sword. Make sure I press the right button. Okay. Yes, I think we did that. Whetstone. Yes. Okay. Cool. Now, I think we're on to an oil as well. I'm not sure if we can do both oil and a whetstone, so I think I'm gonna stick with the whetstone exclusively because it does 20 damage, whereas this Falca's Blood would be the alternative and it only deals 10. So let's do that, and then we go. Oh, it lasts 20 minutes. Fantastic. Okay. Then we do drink potions. I don't know if we've made the ones that we really want yet. We have vitality regeneration. It is during combat, so I think that is still useful. And then vigor regeneration might also be useful. I don't really think we have many damage boosting potions, so this might be it. We could potentially craft one of the, or alchemize, if that's a word, one of the incineration resistance ones, but we did have 99% incineration resistance, so I'm not sure there's much improvement that we can make there. So I think we give this a shot. We go up there, we hope that the upgrades we made are going to be significant, and I think that the primary thing that we have learned now... Oh, and we'll... let's allocate our talent point as well, I think. So, I'm deliberately doing this after the save, in case we decide that we do want to change something up here and we don't like what we chose for the talent. What I'm going to do first is... Oh, it does show us what the mutant gym does. What I want to do first here is I want to take something maybe like this that gives us damage and damage reduction, which is, from a raw statistics standpoint, something that could certainly be helpful. But then if we die and it looks like that's maybe not the best idea, then we can go back, and on the next time we load up this save, we can do a little bit of revisionist history and take footwork instead if it seems like the extra mobility might be more helpful. Another alternative might be to take the extra vitality, but I think I'm going to go with this for now. Give us even more damage on the hopes that we can shorten this fight significantly and make it much more straightforward, but I do think we're going to want to play more defensively is the key thing. Just try to get in one hit. Okay, which side are you coming up on? Get in one hit, and then run, basically. Okay, this is going to be distance fire breath, which I think... Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Now it is. Okay, the incineration-y stuff. Okay, you're back. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, we want to get close for this fire breath. Then we go in for a hit, and we try to dash out of the way. We were not quick enough there, but I think we've dealt a lot of damage already. Where are you going? I think we want to be hanging out on the edge, like on either side, if she's doing the charge ability. Like this, yeah. It's not so much are you dashing or are you not dashing, as much as it's are you on the edge of the arena or not. Did we? I thought we had a Quen up there, but apparently not. Well, certainly lost that one, but I mean, look at how much damage we're dealing now. This is seemingly much more effective. So we're almost done already. Oh, or we are done? Okay, hold on. There might be quick time events, because there have been quick time events for these major boss fights in the past. Okay, something's happening. Yep, I think I got it. Dumping on the dragon. Oh, Saskia, I'm sorry. Could it really be this simple? Nope, it's not. Hold on. Not out of the woods yet. Okay, there's gonna be one more. I'm guessing there's gonna be one more. Oh, that is gruesome. I didn't want it to have to come to this, Saskia. Last one. Okay, so no pun intended. Oh god, no pun intended. That doesn't look good. Yeah. So there's a way out, it would seem. And there's the dragon. So we just walk away or we kill it? By it, I mean Saskia? No. I mean, the goal has always been to try to keep Saskia alive and keep her as an ally. So I'm hoping that that will still be possible. I mean, obviously that doesn't look very good. We aren't outright choosing to kill the dragon. Okay. So she is... Yeah, usually that's actually not a good thing to remove that stuff when you get pierced with those things. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of achievements we just got, but, okay.
A list of the Lodge's sorceresses.
So yes, I do hope that Saskia comes back alive. And that she is, you know, no longer under Philippa's mind control, hopefully. Or that we can negotiate with Philippa. Like, right now. Alright, Philippa. Those are Temerians raiding a Nilfgaardian, I think. And obviously Philippa. And they're like, what the heck are we looking at? What are you up to, Philippa? Oh, she's just very angry, it would seem. On edge, trying to escape and burning anyone who gets in her way. Where are these guys? I can't tell. I don't see any sigils. Might also be Temerians. Ooh. I guess that's one way to do that. Oh. Locking up Lochmoy? I recognize that eye. We've seen one or two of those in the past. Are we in the city right now, or are we still outside of the city? We get locked in or locked out? Locked out. Epilogue! Whoa! So The Witcher 1 had, I think, 5 chapters and then an epilogue. Apparently Witcher 2 only has 3, so that was a bit of a surprise. Huh? Oh, Triss. Okay, for a second I thought that was going to be Yorveth, just based on the glove. Alright. Yes, we did free you.
Are you alright?
More or less.
And the dragon?
Dragoness. Saskia's alive.
Are we sure about that?
Weak from loss of blood, but alive.
Okay, apparently
The
we're
spell
sure
is
about
still
that.
working.
Okay, well that's not, well,
As long as
I don't
Saskia
know,
lives, there's hope that
unimportant.
we can break it. Besides, I don't kill dragons.
Philippa won't easily give up such a powerful weapon.
Yeah.
Triss, please understand. The last thing I want to do is slaughter one of the most beautiful creatures I've ever seen. Saskia is good incarnate. She's the exact antithesis of Eilhart and your former friends. They should be punished.
Alright, that's...
You're
yes,
right.
they are pretty
I just
terrible, but that
wanted-
is also pretty harsh to say bluntly to Triss.
I know what you wanted, and you're probably right in
And
some
Geralt
way.
gets to continue to
But
say that he's
this
not
time,
Dragon Slayer.
Logic and calculation are unimportant. If we have even the slimmest chance of breaking the spell and freeing Saskia, we need to try.
Let's get out of here.
I guess Letho got away.
He's waiting for you.
Oh!
Waiting?
What?
Where the Temerians made camp. Come on.
Sounds like, yeah, like you know about this and may have been involved in this a little bit because, you know, like, you're already aware of this.
What do you mean, waiting? How do you know?
Utter chaos broke out after the dragon attacked. I tried to reach Philippa's quarters. A terrified man approached me in one of the alleys, gave me a letter and begged me not to harm him. He said it was for you. The letter was short. I'm waiting in the Temerian camp. Letho.
Oh, well, that's
What happened when
Convenient.
Wanda was gone?
All the kings had many more armed men than they should have had at a peace summit.
yeah.
During the evacuation, several skirmishes broke out. The Kedwenis clashed with the Temerians. The Order's knights raped 2 sorceresses and killed those who dared try to help them.
Do you think the Council and Conclave will survive?
Well, they're established, and that's the only thing that prevented a wholesale massacre. Hard to say if they'll survive, but for the time being, no one's got any better ideas. Mages are part of this world, whether people like it or not. They have to have their rights, their place. Otherwise, another lodge will arise.
I don't know about that. This looks like a prickly bush that isn't going to let us go past. If ever I've seen one. But anyways, I think this is probably a good place for us to wrap up here, because apparently, after having defeated the dragon, we are now into the epilogue, which, like I said, didn't really see that one coming, but we successfully fought the dragon, and quite frankly, made it look a lot easier than it was last time around. So, maybe it was me just playing terribly the last time around, but it does seem like we dealt way more damage with all of our upgrades. So hopefully that was time well spent making all the gear upgrades, leveling up a little bit, doing some side quests and all that. But it appears as though we do now have Letho awaiting us. So, I mean, I'd anticipate that that means we're about to fight him, because we fought him once earlier and didn't really end with any sort of finality to it. So, my guess is we have round 2 coming up pretty soon. But anyways, hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.